With the first pick, the Sixers select Allen Iverson.
Iverson, the crossover dribble.
Iverson. Oh, no!
Iverson stole the ball. And how do you like that?
Iverson has Jordan. Allen shake, break. Yes!
Iverson steps over Tyronn Lue.
In the category of missed opportunities and what if and living totally up to potential, does Allen Iverson fit in there at all for any of you here?
No.
No, I don't think so.
He reached it to.
He maxed out.
He maxed out. I don't think there's any guard that size other than Isaiah that's going to have that career. I don't think anyone.
I think a lot of the guards like Ty Lawson, they thanking Allen Iverson, thanking guys like Isaiah to say, you know what, if I'm 5'10", 5'11", or even 6 foot, I can use my quickness. If I got a jump shot, use the pick and roll. Allen Iverson said that he can get knocked down 100 times, he's getting right back up.
Yeah, but being
I think he maxed out. Yeah, I don't think he. You won't look at Allen Iverson and say he did not reach his potential. I mean, he was MVP of our league once. You know,
Four-time scoring champion.
Yeah, so
there's nothing. If you get more out of that, he gets more out of that. Yeah, unbelievable talent, and an unbelievable culture impact. He made your appearance, your demeanor, your attitude that people thought were threatening, not non-threatening,
right?
And realized that it's just a way of.
Was that good?
I think so. I really do. I think overall, he had his qualms, things about he probably should have done better. But in terms of a breaking down a wall and a barrier of stereotypes, I think he changed some of that. And I think that he made guys who wouldn't wear braids wear braids. He might have, I don't even know if Tim Duncan...
Some people wearing braids too long now.
Yeah, true.
Too long, yeah.
But I'm saying, too long. It was a stereo, it was a profile. And I think, the way he dressed and what he did, he kind of changed the whole culture and the attitude. And you had guys, I even think maybe Tim Duncan had some braids at one time, you know what I mean? So it's kind of all, he just changed your thought process in a good regard in that way, even though there were certain things he could have did better.
Here comes McGrady. Oh, he just shook the gravity right out of the building. What a play by T-Man.
Ever play what could have been game with Tracy McGrady after in about 8 years in a row where he averaged 26 and then shoulder and knee and that kind of thing took its toll?
Okay. Why we got to show Sean Bradley always getting dunked?
Because he's always getting dunked on.
It's like the one here earlier.
It's like that easy button he was talking about before. But every time we know it.
No, I drafted McGrady in Toronto. And the thing that I saw in him that I loved about him in high school was that he did everything so easily. And it gave the appearance that he was nonchalant, he didn't care. But when you really broke it down on film, he was fast, he was athletic, he was quick. So consequently, he would always be there waiting and look like he was just, I mean, he was never out of position. Offensively, his moves were quick, but they were slow because he was that fast. So you had a chance to really see him in action, and I think from a shooting standpoint, from a passing standpoint, a ball handling standpoint, he was just about as good as we're going to see in this league, maxed out in those offensive categories.
And for the longest time, the knock was always, he can't get out of the first round of the playoffs. And when Houston finally did, he was hurt when they advanced.
Maybe I could have did more, but it didn't happen. I tried, man. I tried.
Do you need another shot creator of some type beyond yourself? It just seems like if you weren't creating shots for people in the series, it was very difficult to get anything done offensively.
You know, when I look at McGrady, it reminds me of why Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, why Larry Bird was Larry Bird. It's not just talent. There's got to be a fire in the belly. There's got to be a competitive edge where you want to kill the guy across from you. And I've never played with Tracy. I've never had a conversation with him. But he's as talented as any player I've ever seen. But I don't think that fire ever manifested itself.
You know, I mean, it's interesting. In touching on what you said, Isaiah, the demeanor, the look, the appearance, that he's not trying hard. But I don't think you lead the league in scoring if you don't have a little bit of a fire.
As he did twice.
Yeah. I think the problem was it just was. I mean, I was hurt. I think it would have helped as an older player to sort of help show him a little bit, how to do things. He was 21 when he went to Orlando and just took off. So he was still young. And the team wasn't that great. And I think a lot of it was frustration. I think a lot of it was he just didn't know really what to do or how to conduct himself maybe as a teammate, as a leader. But in terms of, like you said, in terms of talent and going out and scoring like he scored, like, you have to have a little bit of a fire. If you're going
He
out.
had the fire in my estimation, too, but I think it hits back to everything you just said, meaning the difference between a Larry Bird and a Michael Jordan, and also is college. I think overall, you learn to lead in college. Right. You learn to be on your own a little bit in college. And then the other part, you learn the fundamentals, because to me, what made Michael better than the McGradys, and even now Kobe, and LeBron, is the fundamentals of the game. He was still the best at. His correct hand was always in the passing lane. His footwork was impeccable. So it wasn't natural talent that got him over a lot of times. He, to me, was the most fundamentally gifted athlete ever. Fundamentals with athleticism. And I had never seen, even Clyde Drexler, who was a great athlete, didn't have the fundamentals as Michael, but he had the athleticism and everything else. But those 3 years at North Carolina and those 2 or 3 years at Wilmington High School where he learned those fundamentals, I think those were the difference what made Michael.
And I would agree with you, not only in terms of the fundamentals, but also who he learned from. I mean, you played under Coach K. You played under Dean Smith. I played under Bobby Knight. Dean Smith teaching Michael Jordan. So that level of philosophy coming down and understanding how to play fundamentally sound
what
basketball.
It takes to win.
Yeah, I mean, and Bird had great coaching at Indiana State. I remember Carl Nicks, number 22, played at Indiana State with Larry Bird, and he was from Chicago, and Carl was always. So I remember him coming back for the summer. We're playing in the summer league, and I remember asking him, I say, is he really that good? He goes, he's that good, but his fundamentals are so flawless. Like, he never makes a mistake in terms of his setup for the shot. He never makes a mistake in terms of his left-hand layup or his right-hand layup. And his fundamental setup is so good, he always has time. So when Bird would catch the basketball, it would look like he would be able to catch it, spin it around, and...
You know what?
Because their setup was so good, and there's the same with Jordan.
Right.
And I think we mistake that for fire in the belly. You know, we used to call that he has know-how. Like Bird, Jordan, them guys had fundamental know-how. McGrady, coming from high school, he didn't get the know-how. You know, so everything had to be, tricky, whereas them guys, even yourself playing under Lute Olson, right? If you don't play under Lute Olson, I don't know if you ever get into the NBA because the fundamental base that you had, that know-how that they gave you, it wasn't because you were a great ball handler, you were a great athlete, you could outrun everybody. You knew how to get open, and that came from great teaching and that those coaches
I totally understand what you guys are saying, but my point is, I look at McGrady and I think, the guy was a brilliant jump shooter. I don't think his fundamentals were bad. They weren't what Bird's or Magic's were or Jordan's. But did he ever step on the floor and just intimidate people with his look? Larry Bird did that. Michael Jordan did that. You felt their presence.
You know what happens,
I don't think Tracy's presence was ever really felt.
If you're winning, that look means something.
Means more.
When you're losing,
let me give you a better
like
example.
if you give me that look and I know it's behind you, that look don't mean that.
But let me give you a better
you ain't got pit bulls back there. Those are little chihuahuas behind him, man.